jingle bells, jingle all the way. Well, as you can see, I'm not a singer. I'm even worse at flying planes. But it's Christmas time, and this is my Christmas video for all my viewers and all my subscribers. And of course, you've got to do it when it's snowing. You've got to have snowflakes flaking around the place, and it looks really cold and Christmassy. Just absolutely beautiful. And that's what Christmas is all about. It's all about snow, isn't it? Well, you know, not really. If you live in Australia and New Zealand, we're all sweating out. And we're outside throwing prawns on the barbie. It's as hot as hell if you're an Aussie in New Zealand over Christmas time. But in some parts of the world, like Chicago and a few other places, it is probably snowing and it is just beautiful. Now today we are paying tribute, yes, a salute to Flight Simulator X. And we're appreciating today how far we have actually come. Yes, Christmas and New Year is a time to look forward with new goals and new fresh direction, but it's also time to look back and reflect. And we're going to reflect on the past and realize and appreciate just how far we have come. Oh, we moan and grizzle. Oh, this is not working properly in Flight Simulator. Oh, Flight Simulator X, look, the ground, the roads aren't as good as they should be, and the trees look a bit funny. Wake up, guys. Look how far we have come since Microsoft Flight Simulator X, and just appreciate what you've got and where we are now. Okay, it is unbelievably amazing. Flight Simulator and X-Plane, they are just phenomenal. And today we are paying tribute to Flight Simulator X, FSX. And look what I've got here. You'll be amazed. This is my original thick, it's as thick as the New Testament, my original manual for Flight Simulator X. Isn't that incredible? Yes, it's got all the diagrams of all the planes, all the options. It's got all the missions in there. It's just unbelievable, and it's just like a stroll down memory lane. It's like visiting an old friend when I open up this book. And I probably guess there's not many people that would have one of these beautiful big manuals for Flight Simulator X. It is just beautiful. You can see the corners are all worn and all dogged. I've just read it about 500 times at least. When my mum was alive, she used to look at me on the other side of the room and say, "Are you still reading that damn book? How many times have you read it now?" I just loved it. I wore the spots off this big training manual for Flight Sim X. It's probably worth a fortune. Yes, it's probably worth a fortune. Any bids? It is a beautiful book, and I might read it again one day over Christmas. Okay, so here we are in Flight Simulator X. I'm going to see if I can fly this old Boeing, and we're going to appreciate just how far we've come today. If I can remember how to actually fly it, that is. Look at the wing views. We had beautiful wing views way back in Flight Simulator X. Look at that. And we even had a 3D cockpit. Yes, unbelievable. Look, we had a 3D cockpit. Way back those days, 10, 20 years ago, we had a beautiful 3D cockpit. That's beautiful. Now, as you can see, I've got a flight plan in here. Look, I can move my mouse around. I can move my mouse around just like I'm in a virtual reality sort of thing. I mean, how good is that for the time it was out? It was way ahead of itself, wasn't it? Look at that. I can zoom right into the beautiful displays there. There's my GPS line. There's my flight plan. It's just so good, wasn't it, for its time? It's just incredible. And look at this. Look at this, guys. When I click on this, look on the MFDs there. Look at that. Just click on it, and it pops up like that. How good is that? Wouldn't we like to have that today? Oh, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, we've got to hold down the Alt key, then we've got to click on it, and then when it pops up, it's the size of the whole monitor. So we've got to try and reduce it down, and we're doing all this while we're flying, of course. But look at that. We just click on it, it pops up, click on it, and it goes back. How good is that, guys? How good is that? That is fantastic. Well, I'm going to try and see if I can fly this thing. It's been a long time. It really has. My speed, I'm going to set my speed at 250 knots as I fly up the coast. All these things work. It is quite surprising how good they had things way back in those days, you know. Let's check our moving surfaces are all good. We're at San Diego. There's the old buildings in the background there. It still looks the same today, really, just a lot better quality. Let's fire up this old 737 and see what happens, shall we? Maybe I can't do it anymore. Hear the whine of those engines. Oh yeah. Let's click on this screen here and bring that up. That is just amazing. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Well, that's the way San Diego used to look in the old days, guys. And we just loved it. We thought it was absolutely brilliant, didn't we? There's the stadium down there. It's snowing. It's winter time, so it's a bit snowy. Right, we better head round up the coast towards Los Angeles. Let's keep an eye on our speed. We're doing 290, 3,000 feet. I'll come round to the magenta line and we're going to see if the see how the autopilot performs. Can I bring them up? Bring them up. Yep, bring up the flaps. Okay. Let's come round to my magenta line. Oh, I'm over speeding. Bring my speed down. If you're over speeding, just drop your throttle a little bit, lift up the nose a little bit, and it comes down quite quickly. You don't need to panic, stress out about anything. So let's just see if our plane follows the GPS, shall we? Here we go. Is this a flyby view? I think it is, but I can't see the plane anyway. So let's just see if our plane is going to follow the magenta line here. I have done an ILS landing in this plane before. It's a long time ago. I'm not sure if I can remember how to do it. You do have to put the the frequencies and everything into the radio. But listen to the sound. sounds like the sound has been piped down through a big water pipe. That's what the sort of echoey sort of whine sounds like. The sound is coming through a big water pipe. Sounds really weird, but it sort of helps you appreciate how far our technology has actually come. When you look at the plane, you can see the pilots in there. They've done pretty well. This is like 20 years ago, isn't it? This technology is 20 years old, so for the time you can see why we were all raving about it, saying how good it was. Okay, so I've done a downward leg. I'm on my crosswind leg here. You can see Los Angeles CBD there through the snow in the background. I'm going to come over this way, then I'm going to hook round to the right, and I should be sort of heading towards the runway or the airport over that direction over there. Up the valley here is Palm Springs, if you head up through the valley there. So I'm sort of in the general vicinity of a good approach. Okay, there we go. Here's the runway. Let's come in for a landing. Flaps down. Okay, let's get these landing lights on. Taxi lights on. Man, I hate to think how long it's been since I've landed in this 737. Wow.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Sink rate. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Well, it was a pretty dodgy landing. We were all over the runway. Right, well, here we are, guys. We have landed, and not quite on the runway. It was slippery as a butcher's hand knife with all that snow and ice on it. I ended up sliding off the end of the runway, but we are there, and we can call the bus over and get the passengers over to the terminal. But there we are. That's what Los Angeles looked like 20 years ago. Wow. And we used to think, wow, that's amazing technology. But look at the beach. The beach is still nice, isn't it? There's the CBD over there. And there's the beach and the water. That's a nice looking beach, actually. Nice colour, nice water. Yeah, so look at that. So this is what makes us really appreciate Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane 12, and you can see just how far we have come, guys. And we don't need to moaning about, oh, these trees don't look quite look bushy enough, and oh, the roads are not straight enough, or they don't curve around enough. This is where we've been, and it is just uncomparable to where we are now with with our new flight simulators. But didn't they do well? This is 20 years old, guys, possibly even more. So I think they did brilliantly at the time. Okay, well, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting me over the years. Hope you've enjoyed all the videos. I've had a great time, and I hope you've had a great time as well. And have a wonderful holiday, and enjoy some nice times with your family and some food. Remember, never eat more than you can lift. Okay, guys? All right, I'll talk to you again soon. Over and out, and Merry Christmas, everyone.